Gymshark really is about all the bright colors right now, and I am here for it. Squat proof. Hi you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Kayla Lachey, aka your virtual fitness bestie. I know I literally just got done posting my last Gymshark review for the Energized Seamless. If you guys thought those colors were fun, wait till you guys see the new Whitney collection. I'm really excited to have this video out a little bit early this time. The launch is going to be happening on Thursday, June 5th. Y'all, my days are so confused. So if you guys want to hear about sizing, I actually have small and medium here to compare from like the previous Whitney collection that I got in December. I have a lot to say about the fit. I was not really crazy about the size medium that I had before, so I ended up ordering everything in a size small this go around, and I much prefer it. So if you guys are interested to shop this launch, you want to get some savings at checkout, and you want to support your girl and support my channel, then definitely feel free to use discount code Lachey10 at checkout. It will save you 10% off your Gymshark carts all the time, and it definitely does give Gymshark a little heads up that you guys appreciate my content, so I can keep doing these reviews for you guys before stuff sells out. So these colors are stunning, you guys. There's gonna be kind of like two parts to this collection. I have flare pants here, and these are very much so fall winter colors, I would say. Definitely more neutral, wearable for everyday wear. And then they came out with these fun bright colorways. There's also a green, like a darker green, that I didn't pick up because I was here for all the brights. I just needed to liven up my Gymshark collection for the spring and the summer, and they definitely delivered on all of these fun pigmented solid colors. No marling, no prints or patterns. This is truly a collection for everyday wear, I would say, for the gym girl that likes low intensity workouts, yoga, Pilates, athleisure. You want to do your cardio, you want to go do your sauna, you want to go to the grocery store, do your gym girl errands, hot girl walks, all that type of stuff. This is that collection for you. And I really do like the fit of this now that I have them in a small. I wasn't crazy about the medium that I received in December, and that was actually my first time trying the Whitney collection, and everybody was hyping it up, and I just didn't get the hype in the size medium, but now I understand the hype, okay? This fabric is very stretchy. It has a lot of stretch retention to it, so it is a really comfortable legging that you could wear all day long, and it wouldn't feel too tight or too restrictive. The material is 78% nylon and 22% elastane, and it says it's made in Cambodia. So for the size medium, I'll just show you guys, there is like no compression in the waistband. So I am in between small and medium, and I definitely recommend right now, if you are in between sizes, go with your smaller size, because it's gonna give you more hold in the waist, as this is the same fabric and material as the body of the legging. It's just double layered, so if it's too big on the waist, you're not going to feel compressed, and you might have the slipping and the sliding and the waistband wanting to kind of naturally roll down. And I also hate where they put the tag, because the tag keeps just popping out, and it just looks really silly if you don't notice it to tuck it back in. So you definitely want to cut those out. But I just was not feeling the medium. I felt like every time I wore them, they would just slip and slide, and I was constantly having to pull them up, that it would just be really distracting to wear these to the gym. I wouldn't be able to make my mind muscle connection because I'm over here worrying about my leggings slipping down. I also find these to be ultra high rise, so there's a lot of extra bagginess and bunching in the size medium, and I found that sizing down, that absolutely eliminated that issue for me. And with me having a smaller torso, my size small isn't as high rise. It almost fits perfect. Still a little ultra high rise of a fit, but not to like a weird awkward place, because this is the type of waistband that you can't really roll down like a ribbed thick waistband like Adapt or Vital Seamless. So it kind of just needs to sit perfect, otherwise it will want to roll down if it's cutting up above your natural waistline. So all in all, for sizing, size down if in between, and size down if you want to feel held in and compressed and you want your glutes to have a lift. I felt like the size small fit my glute space like perfectly. I actually had a little bit of a lift. I felt like it gave me more shape. It does have an invisible scrunch. It isn't my favorite scrunch. Y'all know I love and ride or die for Adapt Safari scrunch, but for those of you that want something that's not going to give you a unibum, but you also don't like a scrunch look, it does not look like there's really anything there except for a seam. It might have some rippling off the body, but when you put it on, it stretches out. It looks like a normal seam to me. So the inside of that scrunch, which I'll show you guys, is kind of just sewn together with the material to create that separation on the glutes. It's not uncomfortable, but it definitely is very subtle, and it looks just like nice. Like sometimes when you're running errands and you want to wear leggings for athleisure, you don't necessarily want a scrunch bum all the time. At least I don't. So this will be a great alternative for that reason, and just look more less gym wear, if you will. So I do like that. And then as far as the details on the back, these leggings also have 2 seams that wrap around the back in a dipped V shape, which I think is really flattering. I do have shorter glutes, and I do feel like it does add some nice shape to my body on the back. And then those seams wrap around almost in a curved detailing on the front. So it doesn't cut in, surprisingly enough, even in my smaller size. And with the seams on the waistband, they kind of carry up vertically too. And I just find that those 2 seams on the sides keep the leggings up in place, especially in my smaller size. So I'm not having to pull my leggings up every 2 seconds. I don't get any bunching or anything like that. And I do find that is flattering on the back with all of the details. And then for the gusset with these, there's a very long extended gusset in the inner thigh area. So you can see this when you're just wearing them, or you're working out, you're bending over, doing RDLs, squats, whatever. So definitely keep that in mind. And then it just extends into a normal vertical seam on the inner leg. So the size medium I just find was too baggy in the rise. And also this is a pretty low compression in the waist. The waistband on these Whitney leggings is the same material as the body of the legging. It's not a ribbed, thick, compressing waistband that we see in Vital Seamless or in the Adapt collection. So it is a more comfortable fit, but it is double lined, so it is a little bit more compressed than the body of the legging. So I will say that I definitely prefer my smaller size with this material because it is thinner. It is very stretchy with the retention. Even in the waistband, you guys will see in the try on how stretchy the waist is. Even when you vertically stretch it, it has a lot of stretch here from the rise. So I definitely think if you want a more snatching fit, especially something that will hold you in and lift the glutes up and also snatch in your waist and not be so high rise, definitely consider sizing down if in between. But if you are a true size, go with your true size. So this is a small, and then the bottom one obviously is the size medium. So you can see it's a significant difference in the width of the waistband and overall the width of the legs too. Like it's probably about an inch, well, let's say 2 inches because it's around wider. So I felt like in the leg area on the mediums, it just did nothing for me. It was also really baggy on my medium in the ankle area. It wasn't snatching me, and it just kind of sat kind of puckered out and baggy, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that, especially because these are only in one length. So they're pretty cropped on me and they look kind of like a high water rise. So the size medium is about 12 inches in width. These are kind of slightly tapered, I will say, with the waistband, so I do feel like it really does snatch me up. The rise is about 9 inches for the top of the waistband to the bottom, and then I'll say the waistband ends at the second seam, so that's about 4 inches, I'll say. And there is a difference in the length as far as the sizing, so you will get a little extra in a bigger size. So I don't have the shorts to compare, but I want to say those are 4-inch inseam. So it's about 26 inches in a size small for the leg inseam. And then the inseam on the medium is about 27.5, so definitely a little difference there. Also, I wanted to show you guys a little difference between the small and the medium with the ankle thing because of how baggy I felt like they fit. So just keep that in mind when selecting your size. If you have like bigger legs, maybe you will enjoy that, but I just was not a fan personally. So overall, it's going to be a lot wider in the whole entire width of the leg area. And the rise, I forgot to measure the rise on the mediums to compare, so I will do that really quickly, as I felt like it was too freaking high for me. So that's about 10 inches in the mediums. And that's going to be compared to like 8 inches. So that's a big difference in the two. So also keep that in mind when selecting your size. The overall feel of this fabric, I would say, is durable for lifting in. If you want to work out and lift weights, you're sitting on the gym turf, the gym floor, doing hip thrusts, all that stuff, and you're sweating. I think this is a very sweat wicking material that will dry fast. It has the slightest brushing to it. The Legacy to me is very slippery. This almost has like a slight brushing compared to that fabric. And I much prefer the scrunch on this and the back and the look of this compared to the Legacy. I feel like those are ultra high rise, and the back detail on the Legacy does not flatter shorter glutes, whereas the Whitney collection I feel is for the girls with shorter glutes or normal glutes in general. So if you want something that's gonna really be undetectable but still flattering, then this could be the legging for you. And as you can tell, just sitting down, this waistband will roll. So that's one thing about it, because it is ultra high rise. And there's that tag again. It cuts in on me above my natural waistline, so naturally it's just going to want to fold over. So definitely keep that in mind. But it was much worse in the size medium, and I just could not stand it for that reason. So these leggings are going to come in, like I said, 4 different colors. You're going to get them in the sour pink, which is probably one of my favorite colors. I'm so glad to see this come out in these leggings, the Adapt collection, in the gym bags, like the duffels and the tote bags. Like, this color is really popping up everywhere, even in the minimal printed bra, which I showed in my last video. That would look so good with these leggings to add a little bit of flavor and seasoning. So it's gonna come in black, I believe, as well. There's also shorts, which I did not request because, baby, you already know I like a biker length. We need more biker options, and it's summer. I didn't want my legs to chafe, and I really wanted some basic solid color vibrant leggings for my collection. So I grabbed these, and the material is a buttery soft fabric, so I really enjoy that. And then again, they're gonna come in this beautiful vibrant blue. Okay, I love to see it. So love the color selection in the brights that we're getting this time around, and I just can't get over this drop paired with the Energized Seamless and those bright colors. Like, y'all know I've been begging for brights for a long time, so to see this, like, I have to get them. They're also going to be dropping a ton of minimal bras to go with the Whitney collection. Not only is this going to come in the minimal printed bra to go with the sour pink, but you also have the option to get a solid matching set with the minimal halter style. I got this in a size small. I think this is more coverage than the traditional minimal bra, but it is very comfortable on the body. There's also an adjustment on this one on the neckline, and I really like that because not everybody is the same fit. Some girls might have bigger traps, so it's nice to have a little bit of wiggle room to adjust that. And then the back, it does not come with those straps like the minimal bra does, and it's just more simple and clean. It's also really comfortable. That's what I have on right now in the blue colorway. I think for a matching set, if you're that type of girl, go for this bra. It's so good. I think this is coral red is the colorway. They have the minimal bra, the basic traditional best-selling bra that's going to come out in the same colors for the leggings. This came out a while ago. I already had this in my collection, so I love to see that they bring back older colors from time to time so you can kind of utilize the stuff that you already have and mix and match. I think these colors will mix and match so nicely with this collection. Like, these two together would be so pretty. Even the pink with the blue would look really good too, and I think the green would look really good with this coral color as well. if you guys end up picking that up. And then for the bras, everybody knows the minimal bra, and you guys know I like to take off the straps. These I wear in a size small. I think they are true to size pretty much, and you can see that they don't have any adjustments to them, so I always end up having to knot them because this drop is just too low for me and has no support. So when I knot them like this, it does give me a little bit lift for my chest size. So I wanted to kind of compare that to the updated version. This is the halter minimal bra. It is a little bit wider, so I find that I get more coverage. This is also in a size small, and the band on the back is a little bit wider as well. I do really like that. I find that it is really comfortable. I don't get any digging or cutting in on my lats. And this has an adjustable strap around the neck area. You can't adjust it too far, but it is nice to have the option to do so, and I really like that feature. And I also like that it doesn't have the 4 straps in the back like this one does, because I never wear them pretty much, and then you're just left with these little teeth. And it could look a little bit weird. This one is just a little bit more seamless and streamlined, which I like. And then on the front, like I said, I find that it has a little bit more coverage to the chest area. I'd say the band size is the same, but you could see here it is a little bit more wide, which I like. So these are still 2 of my top favorite picks when it comes to bras. So to see them paired with the Whitney leggings, I think is such a good combo. And you could always grab these and mix and match them with other things. The sour pink that's coming out will go with so many pieces, even the Adapt Safari and the sour pink / vibrant pink that just came out as well not too long ago. And then the coral has been out for a while, but this is a beautiful color, especially when you mix it with this blue that's coming out as well. So I wanted to do a little side-by-side on these 2 bras in case you guys were interested to know the differences. And I definitely do prefer this one. It is a little bit bigger of a fit. I feel like the small, like I said, fits a little bit bigger, so this one has a little bit more lift in my opinion and stays in place. Both of these do. So definitely go true to size with these bras. I'm a big fan of this collection now that I am able to compare the small versus the medium, because it is a night and day difference. Okay, I don't have extra fabric and bunching, and that is the worst thing ever. So now I want to touch on these pants, which are the flare leggings. I grabbed them in every color because I got so freaking excited when I saw that they were coming out in 3 different inseams. Okay, there's going to be small or short, regular, and then tall. Of course I had to go for the tall. I'm only 5'6", so keep in mind when you see the try on, I'm not really that tall of a person, but I am all leg, no torso, so I always go for a long inseam if I have an option to pick one for jeans or whatever leggings I'm going to pick up. So to see them actually do that this time around is a blessing, considering they dropped flares in the Vital and they had no other options versus one length. So this was really nice. So these I also picked up in a size small. They have the same exact construction in the waistband area, the seam detailing, the glute scrunch, and I know it's a little bit hard to see as these are all darker shades, but I also appreciate that they had kind of a variety of neutrals, darker colors, and then also dropping brighter shades for those of us that like options. So these are flare, and I would say on me they flare out at the most perfect spot, especially on the tall inseam length. They kind of flare out at the bottom of my quads. So the quads look really thick and juicy, and then they flare out ever so slightly, and they actually graze the floor. And when I sit down, they're still long enough too. There's nothing worse than having a flare pant and they're like brushing up against like your shoe, or when you sit down they become like crop pants. Like I freaking hate that. So to sit down and have them still be long, I think is chef's kiss. And the width of them isn't too wide where it looks like a weird, I don't know, like boot cut. I don't know. I'm kind of weird about flare pants, but these are the best flares that I've tried from Gymshark. They don't have any front seams or anything like that. I've tried some of their flares before and they just flared out a little too high up on my leg, and I didn't find them to be flattering on my proportions personally. So these to me are definitely a 10 out of a 10. I have nothing bad to say about it. Again, very stretchy with the retention both vertically and horizontally, even on the thigh area. Very comfortable, still snatching and compressive, but not in an uncomfortable way. So I would also say with this material, everything is going to be squat proof. I think the fabric isn't shiny, but it definitely has a little bit of a satin finish to it when like light hits up against it. So definitely keep that in mind. I think in these brighter colors you guys will be able to see what I mean, but very opaque. And again, they're killing it with the bright colors being squat proof. Again, the Energized Seamless was the same way, if you guys missed that review. So if you're worried about sheerness or squat proofness, I would not be worried. I would just still be mindful of wearing like a seamless nude thong underneath. I'll link the ones that I wear below so you guys can get them. They're specifically made for the gym, and they have a sweat wicking gusset, black, also squat proof. So I love to see that with this fabric and the material of it not being shiny. And I would say, would this be yeah, don't put this in the dryer. Don't put any activewear in the dryer, just to be safe. The blue is also squat proof, and I know I'm wearing that right now, but I wanted to give you guys a review on the new Whitney collection that will be dropping on Thursday. Again, I'll put links below to Gymshark along with my discount code LaShay10 so you guys can get those savings at checkout. And definitely let me know, send me a little DM or something on Instagram if you guys do shop the launch and you do use my discount code, so I can give you guys a big thank you, because I really do appreciate you guys supporting me, so I could come back and give you guys my opinions on new items before they drop on the website so that you guys can make the best decision when purchasing stuff. I also have a feeling these are going to be more affordable than the Energized Seamless, because the Whitney leggings that are currently out, I believe they're $50 on the website, and then the minimal bras are in the 30s, which is standard, really affordable for a lot of the bras that they have up on the website. So definitely more affordable than the last drop that we just had. I know we'll all appreciate that. And the shorts, I'm sure, will be a little bit less expensive than the leggings as well. Let me know which color was your favorite though from this video in the comments below, and I'll see you girls in my next vlog very soon. Bye!